Good. Okay, I'd like to call this meeting to order. Please rise at the flag salute. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Mayor Kapaz.
Here.
Mrs. Pascal. Here. Mr. Ranieri.
Here.
Mr. Lobenstein.
Here.
Mr. Root.
Here.
Mrs. Kelly. Here. Mr. Farrell.
Here.
Mr. Long.
Here.
Mr. Basor.
Here.
And Mr. George.
Here. Okay, public notice of this meeting pursuant to the Open Public Meeting Act has been given by the clerk in the following manner. One, posted on the bulletin board of the Borough Clerk's office on January 3rd, 2019, and two, emailed to the retrospective courier post on January 3rd, 2019. We're going to skip the normal order of business and go right to Resolution 19-148. Oh, 19-147. 19-147 is a resolution appointing Paul Wolf Jr. as a firefighter and Steve Mosh as a firefighter, fire inspector, and fire investigator in the fire department. Would someone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second that.
Motion by Mr. Passio, second by Mr. Lobenstein. Roll call, please.
Mr. Farrell.
Yes.
Mrs. Kelly. Yes. Mr. Lobenstein.
Yes.
Mrs. Pascal. Yes. Mr. Ranieri.
Yes.
And Mr. Root.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Bring the two gentlemen on. We move fast here, everyone. We just let you get things done. Okay. Come up here, this way. Next one, come up. Anyone else want to? Okay. Raise your right hand. Okay, repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the
of the
Constitution
United States
of the United
and the
States
state of New Jersey,
and the state of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same,
and allegiance to the same,
and to the governments established
and to the governments
in the
established
United States
in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the
and
people,
that I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the
of
duties
the office of,
of the office of
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability,
And that I will not use my office
and that I will my office
to grant preferential treatment,
during impartial treatment,
nor seek personal gain,
or receive personal gain,
favor,
favor,
or advantage
or advantage
not available to the general public.
not available to the general public.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. You want to pin the badges on? Somebody say something?
Hey, Paul, turn a little bit, please. No one else is getting it, so.
On behalf of Chief Moriarty and myself, we'd like to thank everybody for coming out. It's a big step in our department, hiring two people at the same time. Really big step. Mrs. Kelly, our Public Safety Director, and all our Public Safety Committee, John Ranieri, Pat Passio, and the entire Mayor and Council have done a fantastic job working on us. Really appreciate it, and thank you.
Says it's always, it says something about these young men here, all of you showing up. It's always a wonderful thing to see this when you guys, the solidarity you have with each other and the respect that you give one another and showing up. Even though I couldn't park in the parking lot. But I do appreciate it. I wish these gentlemen well. Those of you, I'm sure all of you know this, but obviously this evening we are actually accepting Mr. Laverty's retirement this evening. So, but I want to say that Fred is an exemplary person in this community. He has shown us all of you know him, this is the kind of person we all strive to be. So we really are going to miss you, and we respect everything you did for this community. And these young men coming up, that's why we got two of them to take your place.
He's still around, so he's still around.
He's still around. We have a few more months. But I did want to say that with all of you here this evening, how important it is. You know, the department really has changed. Those of you who have been here for this past decade, a little bit more than a decade, when the department really changed, the professionalism that's been brought to this department, everything that we've done. I don't want to take credit, all members of council, you know, we actually listen to our fire department. I don't know enough about it, so I have to rely on the professionals, and that's what all of you are, the professionals. So I really want to appreciate, once again, everything you guys do. So thank you. Thanks for coming.
It's nice to see someone else comes in.
It's a little hot here tonight. All these bodies in here, I wasn't prepared. What's that? You know what, I do, but I make mistakes, so I figure it's always better to have. We would love all of you to stay for the entire meeting, because no one usually does, but you can take your time, if you want to take pictures, we'll wait for you guys, whatever you guys want.
Take some pictures.
I'm sorry, there's one of them. We're out of here.
Thank you. How you doing? How you doing?
I should do it at the end of the meeting, right? Eat pizza. Either promotions or pizza, we get people out. Before we get started, are these the young ladies?
Yes, I'd like to introduce the mayor and council, Katie Malatesta. Katie's new substitute crossing guard is.
Okay.
She's a Glendora girl, Triton girl. We married a Runnemede guy, so she's from the area.
Okay.
And Karen St. Polsky, the name we know.
Yeah.
She's a Runnemede person, and we're really happy to have her
You're
on.
back.
Really happy to have her on. So far, doing a great job. So we're training this week.
Thank you for coming. And we appreciate you coming because obviously the Public Safety Committee does like to say hello. So Eleanor, if you want to go say hello first for a minute. Because that's something we try to do that, do our job a little bit better all the time. I can swear you in if you want to get sworn in.
Well, Sam Polsky, we have a bunch of guests. So good to have you on board. If anything, if you call, Public Safety Director, so,
Yeah, that's good, Yeah, I left the key.
and he will fix whatever problems you have. He's my fixer.
Good luck, good luck. Happy holidays.
Thank you, you too.
Katie.
You still live in Runnemede, right?
Glendora. Oh, but I went to high school. Oh, okay, yeah.
What is it? You want to sign the first contract?
Can I get a picture of you girls for the newsletter?
Oh my gosh, oh no, with my non-blood right here.
Perfect. I'm gonna get two, one this way, then one vertical. That's a good shot.
I like that, yeah.
All right,
Nice.
thank you.
Glad to have you on board, ladies.
Thank you, leader.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you, Dan.
right, what do we do to get rid of those one people? Richie, you want to do something for you?
We can say.
Lock the doors, Steve. Lock the doors. No, we don't want anybody else let out.
Okay, the next order of business is the approval of minutes. Motion is in order for the approval of the minutes of the October 29th and November 6th meetings submitted by the clerk, as each member has received copies of the same. Or motion.
I'll make a move, I'll second.
Moved by Mr. Root, second by Mr. Ranieri. All in favor?
Aye.
The minutes approved. Reports.
We have a report of the police department for the month of November, a total of $114.95 excuse me, was collected for accident discovery, solicitor reports, and firearm permits. All monies were turned over to the treasurer. We have the report of the treasurer for the period ending October 31st, 2019. Total current fund revenue, $19,858,821.13. We have the report of the borough clerk for the month of November. A total of $764.20 was collected for street opening permits and pet licenses. All monies were turned over to the treasurer. The report of the registrar of vital statistics for the month of November. A total of $2,116 was collected for technical copies, marriage copies, and 2 marriage licenses. All monies were turned over to the treasurer. I have a report of the tax collector for the month of November. A total of $2,786,166.10 was collected in taxes, and in sewer rentals, $34,744.70. I have the report of the fire marshal for the month of November. A total of $11,473.56 was collected in fire fees. There were 59 total inspections, 128 EMS incidents, 39 fire incidents, 1 Type 1 permit issued, and emergency medical services billing for the month was $21,563.86. All monies were turned over to the treasurer. And I have an email from the construction department that a total of $10,789 was collected for permits and COs, and all monies were turned over to the treasurer. And that's all I have.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the
The
minutes.
reports.
Reports.
Motion by Ms. Passio,
I'll second.
second by Mr. Loppenstein. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Communications?
You want me to read it?
Yeah, you can read this.
The first one is from Diane Gutierrez-Setti, the DOT Commissioner. A letter to the mayor awarding $240,000 from DOT for Phase 2 of North and South Highland and North and South Rowan Avenues. And then I have a letter from Fred Laverty, Deputy Fire Chief, announcing his retirement.
Do you want to read that? Because it really was nice, even though nobody's here. You guys can get a copy,
Sure.
right? I'm sorry, so let's,
It was a nice letter.
want to just read it?
You want to read?
Oh, it's in there? Oh, you do have copies?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm Public Safety Committee and Fire
Okay,
Department.
why don't you read it?
I
Yeah.
think I'd like to read it,
Thank you.
Very good.
because it's with great regret that I'm reading this, because you know how I enjoy having Freddie on board.
Yes.
Honorable Mayor Kiwanis, I write this letter to announce my formal retirement from the Borough of Runnemede Fire Department as Deputy Fire Chief effective 4/1/2019. That's April 1st, 2019. It's actually April 1st, 2020.
Oh, yeah.
My last day of work will be March 31st, 2020. After careful consideration, I have decided that this is the right time for my family and I to make this change in our lives. Words cannot describe the honor and pleasure it has been to serve the borough and the community that I grew up in the past 30-plus years. I have been fortunate to work for and watch the department grow into an organization which is looked upon as a leader in its field. I am now ready to move on to the next phase of my life. The opportunities of professional and personal development that I have gained over the past 30 years will last a lifetime. I would like to express my sincere gratitude for the support received from the members of the fire department municipal department heads, borough employees, mayor and council during my career. I would like to thank past Mayor Jack Urabini for his confidence and support given to me over 20 years ago, starting the combination fire department. I would also like to thank you for continuing these efforts and providing the department the means to move forward into the future. While my career with Runnemede Fire Department comes to an end, I am confident that the department will continue to be led by dedicated professional leaders. It is important that we start the transition as soon as possible. I look forward to working with you during this transition. I am available to discuss our mutual interests and the direction we should take to ensure the transition is seamless and smooth. If I can be of any assistance, I would, after the transition, please let me know. I have included my personal email so that you can continue to contact me after my retirement. Sincerely, Alfred F. Liberty, Deputy Fire Chief. Very nice letter.
Very nice.
Okay.
And the last letter is from Sylvia Lee, our bus driver, who is also retiring at the end of the year.
Oh, this is for the second time he's retired, right?
Yes, second time.
He has retired before.
He's been here a long time, right?
Well, he was
He
public
was
works
here, he
guy.
retired, and then he came back, yes.
Well, he drove the bus like
Yeah. he drove
40
for-
years ago.
Would someone like to make a motion to accept the communications?
With regret.
I'll second that.
Mr. Ranieri, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Okay, we have public hearing. Ordinance 1914 is ordinance adopting the redevelopment plan for the entirety of the blocks 40-52, 32-39, 21-23, and 27-29. These are obviously along the Black Horse Pike. This portion of the meeting is open to the public. Anyone wishing to speak about this ordinance, please come to the microphone, state your name and address. Seeing no one, is there a motion to close the public portion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Mr. Ranieri, second by Ms.
Aren't these ninth after?
No, this is the first one.
Oh, okay.
We'll talk about that a little bit, because I think we have something, a resolution for the second one. So this is now, we now officially, well, let's do roll call first. So, is there a motion to adopt?
Make a motion to adopt on second, final reading and advertise according to law.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, motion by Mr. Farrell, second by Ms. Passio, roll call, please.
Mrs. Kelly.
Yes.
Mr. Lobenstein.
Yes.
Mrs. Passio.
Yes.
Mr. Root.
Yes.
Mr. Farrell.
Yes.
And Mr. Ranieri.
Yes.
6 ayes.
All right, this ordinance is adopted. So now we're finally done, all that year and a half worth of stuff is done, in the sense that we now can advertise, to the public, if we have a plan, people can read the plan, even though the plan is very broad strokes. It really gives a lot of latitude to anybody who wants to do anything along the Black Horse Pike. Obviously, there's a map for people to review. The next step, though, that we have to talk about some more is the promoting of this. So that, we finally got to the point where we have something in place so that someone could come in front of council. So that would be the next step. So if there was somebody out there who wanted to be designated a redeveloper, the next step for them is to basically come to this council with a plan. And the only way for them to come to this council with a plan is they would have to show, not necessarily ownership, but control of the properties that they wanted to develop, and then a plan of what they wanted to develop. So someone can't just show up here willy-nilly. They have to show up and say, I've got this parcel, I've got either control of it, or either by an agreement of sale where I own it, and then this is what I intend to do. And then they would lay out with us what they wanted to do. And the example that I got when I went to that class was, it's an opportunity for us to really pick the color of the shutters, because in the planning board stage, it's really just very legal. But in this stage, we can actually say what we think is right. Someone says, I hate to say it, they want to open another pizza place, we can say no. Because we might, council doesn't have to agree to that. But if they say they want to build something out of wood, we could say, well, we want it built out of brick. So it does give us that kind of latitude to really start to fine tune the application before it goes to the planning board. It still has to go in front of the planning board, it still has to have a public hearing. But at that point, we've kind of agreed at the surface of what the person is doing with some details and any kind of financial benefit that the town would be granted, like payment in lieu of taxes or something to that effect. They would still go in front of the planning board for all the legal requirements, stormwater, correct mark, those kind of things would still all get done, and then we would sign an agreement with them.
Mayor?
Yes.
I have a question. We're adopting this ordinance here.
We adopt
Yeah, the redevelopment committee.
Yes.
Didn't meet, but we are going to continue to meet now. We're going to have plans to continue to move forward with ideas and concepts and things along that nature.
I think that's the next step. The next step
Set those dates.
is to start to advertise, start to promote, start to show people what we have, things like, do we meet with realtors? What do we do to help
Well,
promote these kinds of
let's set up another committee meeting.
Absolutely.
Can I set that up? We'll work that out, and then we'll start brainstorming.
Yep.
Thank you.
And then council still has to approve everything. So don't think that
Yeah, I know, we have.
everything has to still be approved. Okay, so Mr. Root's other question was, there is a resolution on, is it already done, Joyce? We already did that last meeting?
Yes, you did that last week.
And so last week, what we did is we just sent the 9th Avenue properties to the planning board. They have to do their public hearing before it comes back to us again. But now we have a template that we can do the other project. Okay, let's get right to committee reports. Finance Administration, Mr. Ranieri.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everybody. Happy holidays, everyone. As I mentioned at caucus, I want to thank Harry for the extra work that he put into our sustainable program. Also want to thank the mayor and Patty for helping with the last push to try and maintain our bronze status and move us towards our ultimate goal, which is to get the silver status in the sustainable program. In finance, over the last few weeks, the finance committee and the mayor have been receiving budget worksheets and status reports regarding our 2020 budget. We're also working on some of the final details, and we can review these at our upcoming finance meeting next week. I'll be sending out the date, probably tomorrow, to let everybody know when we're going to meet. Last week at caucus, mayor and council passed a resolution in support of the Heart and Soul Grant Program. I want to thank everybody who showed up at our events, participated in the Heart and Soul events, and this Thursday is our deadline to submit our program narrative. We've been working very hard to make the next cut, and we will know, I think, within a few weeks if we made it, and I will let everybody know. Wish us luck, and the rest is progress.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Public Safety, Ms. Kelly.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to congratulate our Public Events Committee on the wonderful job they did with our Christmas. Oh, the Christmas party was wonderful, and the tree lighting, and that marvelous display. Oh,
It's going on right now.
listen, I was in the rain, and I loved every minute of it.
So was the
I
night.
stood out there soaking wet.
And it's
watching
great.
It was just
Well, you don't have to
great.
do that anymore. Now you can listen in your car on the radio. They set that up today.
Oh, cool. Well, anyhow, I just want to congratulate the public events. Patty, it was just fabulous. People came up to me and said it's just getting better and better every year.
Runnemede rocks.
Runnemede rocks. And it was wonderful, and I had a lot of fun. So, let's go on with my report. Okay, with the fire department, we have a total of $333,262.33. And that is as of the end of November. So we're right on track to go into the new year. We usually average about 350,000. I think we might be over that this year.
That's EMS, right, Eleanor?
EMS and fire.
Okay.
Both, yes. Total EMS and fire is 333,262 as of the end of November. So we're right on track. The fire company building committee, that's for the renovations, we'll be meeting with mayor and council sometime in the near future to discuss the status of the improvement project at the firehouse. The president of the fire company has been advised of the progress being made toward the financial funding of the project. I don't have anything more than that to give you because we're still waiting for the bank and for our attorneys to come to some kind of agreement of either a lease option or something like that. So that's where we are. We're just waiting on that. The shared service project, if you remember, we put the engine over at Belmar. That's coming along, and that's going to be in service. It has been tested, and it is being used right now by Haddon Heights. So that shared service is moving right along. The month of November was a busy month for the EMS and the fire department. They responded to 167 incidents in 1 month. 167 incidents in 1 month. Incredible, incredible service. Our first responders are just phenomenal. They are the leaders in this area, and it's just such I'm just so proud to be part of that department and being able to lead our first responders. With our police department, calls for service in the month of November, 822 calls for service. That's amazing. Traffic summonses, 200. Motor vehicle crashes, 28. A little bit higher, we're normally around 25. That's about in the range. 100 arrests this month. That's wonderful. I mean, you can see how proactive they are. People that are doing bad things are getting arrested, and it's good for the town. We only had 30 hours of overtime. Now, if they had 822 calls for service, and we only had 30 hours of overtime, I have to give credit to the captains and to the chief for keeping that under control. There was Narcan deployment. We had 3 this month. And in the fire department, they had 1. So that's 4 Narcans this month. That's a little on the high side for us. For the year, for the police department, they've had 12 Narcans. So that means that they've recovered people that were basically on death's door, and they were able to bring them back to life. And it's an incredible situation out there with this opioid. But thank God we have the SAVE. The SAVE project works through the courts, in the municipal courts, and people that have come in for like first-timers that are being arrested for drug arrests, those first-timers are given an opportunity to talk with a counselor and get into rehab, get into some kind of a program that will help them get their lives back. So it has been renewed again for 3 more years. This first year was a test. But through the county, 476 people have been through the SAVE program. The recidivism is very, very low. So we're so happy to have SAVE in our municipal court. Thank you, Captain, for working with SAVE on that. And that's my report.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ellen.
Thank you, Ellen.
That was great.
Public events, Ms. Passione.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council. As we all know, rain does not stop Santa or the kids. So, on Sunday, it was wonderful to see the fire company and the fire apparatuses that came decorated. Is this on? Yes. Okay. Yes? Yes. Okay. All right. They came out to our annual Christmas tree lighting and the fire truck parade. We also had Mary Volt's chorus that was out there singing for us inside in the gazebo, not in the gazebo, they were singing inside the building. It was still raining somewhat. The light show that we have, I want to thank Public Works. I can't thank Public Works enough for all that they have done and how hard they worked to put this together to make Runnemede shine. We have a beautiful, beautiful outdoor light theater that you can pull up with your car. You can have your little popcorn or whatever you want to have, and turn on. Today, they have a sign up there that tells you what channel to go to.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
I believe.
And yeah, that's what they were supposed to do. And you tune into that station, and it's synchronized with all the lights. So I'm going there right after. I believe it starts at 5 and it will end at 10. I think that's right.
Every night.
Yes.
4:30.
Is it 4:30? Okay, great, thanks. And so make sure you come out and see it. Again, I want to thank everyone who volunteered and helped out for the Christmas tree lighting. We had a photo booth. We had toys for the kids, lots and lots and lots of toys for the kids. We had Municipal Alliance who was actively gave out toys for the kids. Who we have Reimagine Runnemede doing crafts. We had 2 balloon artists.
Great.
Yes, so we had big cake from Deluxe and lots of ice cream, and kids were running around like crazy. So with beautiful balloons, I'll tell you, those balloon artists do really, aren't they gorgeous?
I love the reindeer.
Oh my
Remember
gosh.
the reindeer?
They had so many things.
It was a great party, especially-
So it was a great party. And the green team, of course, was there, giving out green bags and t-shirts. And doing some art, we had a lot of arts and crafts, so I hope the kids got to take home a lot of stuff, which they should have. And also, on another note, Runnemede Senior Citizens their club is having their holiday luncheon at the Lamppost Diner on Wednesday, the 11th, from 12:30 to 3:30. And the cost is $15 for members and $20 for guests. So if you want to go, you better give me a call or call the president and let us know right away. And with that, it's progress. We move on.
Thank you, Betty.
Thank you. Okay, construction engineering, Mr. Farrell.
Mark's report was pretty detailed the other day, but I'd like to highlight a few things. Clemens Bridge Road, Schubert Avenue, the streetscapes is complete, submitted to the borough, so waiting on that. And the traffic study, we're also waiting for Shropshire on that. At best, we might get a timing modification, so even that would help.
Yeah,
You know,
any
it's
little
been-
thing would help. This is the Clemens Bridge Road.
Yeah. We had hoped for more, but it is what it is. And I was going to talk about the $240,000 that was ordered from DOT, Phase 2 on Highland and Rowan. It's not as much as before, but
No, it's a lot
Let's
less.
They will
plan
take
it out,
it,
right?
yeah, whatever they can do.
Can I ask Mr. Bayshore, do you recall what we had estimated the cost would be to do those?
$932,000,
To do what?
4 roads,
But we're halfway, or more than halfway through it, or a
fourth of the way through.
quarter of the way through it? So we're not doing all 4 roads. Okay, so you're gonna figure out what to spend. Did you see I put in your inbox from 2013, his estimated cost for some of the roads? I put in your thing.
I'd like to see that.
Well, I'm gonna say, you had said that you wanted to know, Mr. Powers been saying that there's other roads in town that we need to start working on. The problem is they're not good applications with the DOT. And one of the roads that he had brought up was Manor Court. And in 2013, you had done an estimated cost. And it was only about, it was about $110,000 in 2013. So what's that, about 112 now? 2% increase? But it was a good point, though, that maybe we have, in the future, we start planning our other roads with our own money. But the 240 will keep us moving along.
there are road arrest progress.
Okay. What do you think about construction here? You're getting a lot of emails, I get a lot of emails.
As far as,
All the code enforcement violations, we get it.
oh, I know. Ugh.
Just let everybody know, Mr. Farrell and I get a copy of every code enforcement violation.
So do I.
I do too.
You all get it? Mr. Farrell, you?
We don't get it.
Well, here's what I would offer. If you want to opt out, you can always tell Mr. Knight to opt out. One thing I like to have with it is, I actually like, because if someone calls me, I can search their address and see what the violation is. Sometimes they are trivial, I'll be honest, but sometimes they are more substantial. So we actually have a property in town, we have another issue where we have a resident who's not following through with an agreement they made with the planning board. So council's going to once again have to be responsible, to hold someone responsible, or hold someone accountable for what they promised the planning board. They were supposed to build a garage, they never finished. So now what do we do?
Wow.
And it was part of the agreement, so we have to, figure out. Mr. Knight's idea is to do what we've done in some of these other properties where we ask people to do stuff and they don't do it, then we just hire a contractor to fix the sewer line or cut the tree down. In this particular case, do we send somebody out there to finish the garage for the guy? I don't know. I know it's a tough one, but it's once again, he's got a half-built garage, and I don't know how fair that is to all the other neighbors around there. So,
Did anybody talk to him?
Mr. Judge Traybosh has talked to him about a dozen times. And he fines him are you in there? You know who I'm talking about.
Yes.
He's been fined over $1,000 several times.
Yes.
And we'd rather him spend the money to fix the garage than to pay the fine.
Yeah.
Is he paying the fines?
We have to check.
The court, but he could be making payments, he could be doing things, but it's a waste of money.
It is.
It's a waste of money just to finish the garage.
It was, not to interrupt.
No.
It's, I like reading it because people, they have to get a violation to fix something in a mannerly fashion. Why don't they just fix it,
Yeah.
I mean, it's, I guess laziness or, I don't know, but it's nice reading that they are taking care of the problems in the matter.
Well, I always remind everybody, we had someone come to court,
Well, it's a little scary if you read the citation that you get.
but
It's a little,
yeah, I know, it should maybe be a little easier, but we did have a person come into court once saying, you know, you didn't cut your grass, so we sent him a violation. Do you guys remember this? And he went in front of the judge and said, well, Mr. Knight didn't tell me to cut my grass this year.
okay.
Do you understand though? We don't have to send somebody a notice. So he just sent him a violation. I agree, Patty, I'm with you in a lot of ways. Mr. Knight is supposed to make some changes with how we're doing certain inspections, things like that. But the fire department was just here tonight, was pushing back on those changes, feeling that a lot of the inspections that he does, I don't know how you feel about that, Dan, a lot of the inspections kind of push people in the right direction. Why we doing
Are
that?
you talking about when you move, when you're moving?
When you're moving, we've talked about this.
I love
And I'm on your side.
But you know what? After living in the house.
You know that it was
I
for
do
your
think-
benefit.
Yes, it is for your benefit.
So Fred
Because
really
they
pushed
say-
back.
You know, when I go down the stairs and I hold on to the railing,
You know-
I say to myself, I'm glad he made us put this.
Because you wouldn't have railing. Yeah,
Because,
there's no railing.
well, if the railing was there, but we didn't have those little,
the slots.
those little 2x4
Yeah, the
things
spindles
in there.
coming.
Yeah. And I said, you know what, it would have never gotten done, so I'm really glad, you know, and then I thought, gee,
So that's an
why are you
argument.
doing that? So I can understand that.
Yeah, so it's a tough balance. It's tough.
Well, you know, one more thing, you know, taking care of sidewalks, curbs, and things of that nature, the appearance of our streets and homes, if you let it go, if you're not stringent and you're not on top of it, the quality of your town goes way
Way
down.
down.
You're losing people, you're attracting the wrong kind of people. So, you know, everybody complains that, you know, we're tough and this, that, and the other thing, but it does keep the quality of our homes and our neighborhoods up. That's a good thing.
So what he's proposing is only doing exterior inspections. And the fire department would still do they would still go in and do the smoke detectors. But we would no longer be going in checking the handrails. We would no longer be going in checking the panels, and those kinds of things, which is good and bad. Well, if anybody tries to sell their home right now, most people are getting home inspectors. Does anybody know that? A lot
Yeah,
of home
a lot of
inspectors.
people.
And home inspectors are doing a pretty good job, but they don't have the same authority that we have. So this is something, you know, it's a conversation we gotta continue to have. Fred pushed back on it, so it got delayed for a little bit, so we have to see what we're gonna do. That's the only reason I brought up construction, because I know it's an issue. Anything else? Okay.
Thank you.
Public Works, Mr. Root?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The only thing I want to go over with the leaves are on the west side this week, will be on the east side next week. Just to let you know. And for the official lights at the Harry Williams Building will run from now till the middle of January, from 4:30 to 10 every day, and you tune your radio to 103.5. And that'll get down.
What is it?
103.5.
Okay, thank you.
I think it's
Thank
a
you.
half an hour loop, right?
12 minutes.
12 minutes?
12-minute loop, the music and
Going
the
after-
lights go to the music for 12 minutes.
It's really good.
103.5.
It's fantastic.
And as long as nobody at Wawa has epilepsy,
No.
we'll be good.
I
The
know.
rest is private.
I know.
They helped the first week, right?
Late sometimes.
Or migraines.
Lincoln
Go
Lights.
blinking lights, circle out of blinking. Parks and Recreation, Mr. Lobenstein.
I'll just go over my little bit that I talked about at caucus. Not much going on right now outside. All the soccer shut down, basketball starting up soon. And softball's quiet right now. Rest of the problem.
Okay, thank you.
What,
The bench,
what then?
remember I asked you to put a bench like on the wall, like that, like
Yeah,
on the,
we'll talk about that over
in
the
the pretty
winter.
section?
Yes. We'll
So-
talk,
so we
Runs.
can- So you can meditate.
I go out on the golf course to meditate, but, yeah, we can, we will look at that over the course of the winter, but right now, Public Works.
We do have two more benches, correct?
Yeah.
I think there are two benches.
Yeah.
Okay, solicitors report.
Just going to rely on my report and say the rest is progress, other than to say that productivity and morale at my office is, for the last few days, been increased dramatically with a few aesthetic improvements that have taken place. So I'd like to thank the responsible parties for said improvements.
Very good, thank you.
You
Okay.
sign.
Yes, you sign.
Very good.
Engineers report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm going to rely mostly on my report from caucus. Just want to pick up on this DOT grant. As we talked about, we got $240,000. Originally, we had requested $932,000, but We go in heavy with that estimate, just to try and get as much money as we can. So we will refine our estimates and submit a proposal to the borough outlining what our options are for just using the grant, for just, what the different options are. South Rowan, you've already paid for the design. We have that in the can right now because that was going to be originally part of phase one, but we didn't have the funding to move forward. So that's going to save you some money if you include South Rowan in this.
So we should probably start on South Rowan and then start on Highland? Is that the idea? Maybe
Yes,
make our way around?
Yeah, and we'll work with the engineering committee and come up with, if you want to do South Rowan, or South Highland, or North Highland, or whatever it might be. But we'll refine our costs, get together with the engineering committee, and then submit a proposal to council accordingly.
Okay.
Thank you.
So we will be able to get some roads done.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, substantial.
Yes.
Okay, no more business, new business. Okay, we're gonna start doing some resolutions. All right, so we have Resolution 19-146 is a resolution requesting approval of items of revenue and appropriation. This is accepting the $240,000 from the DOT.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Mr.
I'll
O'Leary.
second that motion.
Second by Mrs. Kelly. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Pasio,
Yes.
Mrs. Kelly,
Yes.
Mr. Lobenstein,
Yes.
Mr. Farrell,
Yes.
Mr. Root,
Yes.
and Mr. Ranieri.
Yes.
6 ayes.
All right, the resolution is adopted. Resolution 19-148 is a resolution regarding employment. This is accepting Mr. Laverty's retirement letter.
Correct.
Someone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Mr. Root, second by Ms. Pasio. All in favor, roll call, please.
Mrs. Kelly,
With regret,
Mr.
yes.
Lobenstein,
Yes.
Mrs. Pasio,
Yes.
Mr. Farrell,
Yes.
Mr. Root,
Yes.
and Mr. Ranieri.
Yes.
All right, the resolution is adopted. Resolution 19-149 is a resolution authorizing the Borough of Runnemede to enter into a shared service agreement with the Borough of Magnolia for mechanical repairs and maintenance of municipal vehicles for 2020. I apologize, this wasn't at the caucus meeting, but this is something we've done every year in the Public Works Department. It's just an option. It just allows the Public Works Department to take their vehicles to Magnolia if they so desire. So it's basically the same rate that they gave us last year. It's just a formality to do it every year.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second. Motion by Mr. Root, second by Mr. Lobenstein. Roll call, please.
Mr. Farrell,
Yes.
Mrs. Kelly,
Yes.
Mr. Lobenstein.
Yes.
Mrs. Pasio,
Yes.
Mr. Ranieri.
Yes.
And Mr. Root.
Yes.
All right, resolution is adopted. Resolution 19-150 is a resolution authorizing year one of the 3-year option to Bernie's Auto Repair LLC for towing services for 2020. Would someone like to make a
I'll
motion?
make a motion.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Mr. Ranieri, second by Ms. Kelly. Roll call, please.
Ranieri
And Kelly. That's right.
Yes.
Mrs. Kelly,
Yes.
Mr. Farrell,
Yes.
Mrs. Pasio,
Yes.
Mr. Root,
Yes.
Mr. Lobenstein.
Yes.
Mr. Ranieri.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. We do have a second reading that we're going to do at the caucus meeting in December, where we're going to adjust those few prices.
Adjourn meeting.
The adjournment meeting, you want to do it?
Adjourn meeting,
Oh,
not yet.
Well, that's the only one left.
That's the only one left? Okay,
Yeah,
adjournment.
that's it.
So at the adjournment meeting, we have a couple modifications on the
What
pricing.
date is that?
Yeah, what is the date?
December 30th.
7?
6 p.m.
11?
December 30th.
You don't have to be there,
6
Jeff.
o'clock.
You don't know if you have to be there. We usually do it pretty quick. Right, Jim? Any things you want to do? We just close the year out.
Yeah, there might be.
We had a big party with Mr. Root.
December 30th.
This is your, this is your penultimate meeting. You know that word, penultimate?
Penultimate.
Yeah, it's a word I don't use.
I got 2 pens.
Your next to last meeting.
Did you say the 30th?
The 30th. You don't have to be there.
I might want to get our proposal worked out for,
Oh, you want to get your proposal on?
I would call it the 17th hole.
Okay, the 17th hole. Okay. So where were we? 19-151, resolution authorizing the purchase of an 800-gallon frying maker under state contract. Jim, did we want to do this? Is this,
Did we talk about this?
Yeah, this is, from what I understand, this has been approved.
did you get an email from me or from anyone?
There's been emails with you on the email. And I've talked to Harry, and Harry.
Are you okay with this?
Harry has mentioned that it is approved.
Okay, so it'll come out of buildings and grounds.
It's coming out of roads miscellaneous.
Roads miscellaneous.
There's going to be a transfer. Tonight there's a transfer.
Okay.
Putting the
What are we doing here, Nick?
Okay, we were doing a shared service with Gloucester Township and Gloucester City for brine. But there's been issues.
Gloucester
Gloucester
City-
City's broke down.
Their building was condemned,
Yes.
where they
Nice.
house the salt, or whatever it is, yes.
And then Gloucester Township couldn't, they're overwhelmed, because the county must be going to Gloucester Township. Does that sound right? Do you remember that? I'm trying to remember everything
That's
now.
exactly right.
Runnemede, Brian?
Everyone's going to be going to Gloucester Township. Gloucester Township is going to have, in effect, a long line waiting for brine during an emergency event. And we thought it would be a good idea to be able to make our own brine and be able to support other.
That's what he's saying, you support other places. Okay.
So.
And the funds were available on roads, it is a road.
The funds are available. We had to make some transfers, but they're available.
So it's going to pay for itself.
Hey,
Oh, yeah.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
good. All right, then good.
Here we are.
Harry sent an
We're
email
giving it again.
today.
I saw the email, but I was confused.
Drawing up agreements, I don't know whether Dan wants to get involved in this.
Agreements with
He's
who?
looking for agreements.
You mean like a
In order
boilerplate
to-
you can send out to other towns?
Sure.
We could probably get,
We already did one for the Vector truck, didn't we, for?
use that and just plug in.
Could we use that and plug it in?
Use that, cross out Backer truck, put in brine.
Chiselhurst.
And then we just gotta come up with a price.
Yeah.
And he wants to duplicate the Gloucester Township agreement for brine.
Okay.
Brian.
I didn't do that.
Love it.
I was not on that email. so-
You weren't on, I'll forward this to you.
Thank you.
Do we need to do that this evening to take care of anybody who,
Why not?
like if another Barrington or Magnolia wants to do it, do we need it in place, or are we okay?
I do it now.
We'll do it now? All right, we'll put it there. Okay, so on the table right now is 19151, which is a resolution authorizing purchase of an 800-gallon brine maker under state contract.
Sorry, was you about 150? I thought you were talking about 150.
Well, I was talking about the council authorizing the,
I would not do that.
Okay.
No, I apologize. I thought you meant 151.
okay, any shared agreement? we'll have to
Yes,
go
with the
through.
comment.
Okay.
Okay, there's none in place.
Motion by Mr. Root, there's nothing in place.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Ms. Patsy, roll call please.
Who made the motion?
Root, Patsy. Well, we did it, roll call.
Mrs. Kelly.
Yes.
Mr. Lobenstein.
Yes.
Mrs. Passio.
Yes.
Mr. Root.
Yes.
Mr. Farrell.
Yes.
And Mr. Ranieri.
Yes.
All right, 6 ayes. The resolution is adopted. Resolution 19152 is a resolution authorization of the CFO to make transfers between appropriations in the 2019 current fund budget. So that's what Mr. Diori was just talking about.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second that motion.
Okay. Motion by Mr. Ranieri, second by Ms. Patsio. Roll call, please.
Mr. Farrell.
Yes.
Mrs. Kelly.
Yes.
Mr. Lobenstein.
Yes.
Mrs. Passio.
Yes.
Mr. Ranieri.
Yes.
And Mr. Root.
Yes.
All right, the resolution is adopted. Now we have payment of bills. Would someone like to make a motion to pay?
I'll
the
make
bills?
that motion.
Motion by Mr. Lobenstein, second by Ms. Kelly. Roll call, please.
Mr. Farrell.
Yes.
Mrs. Kelly.
Yes.
Mr. Lobenstein.
Yes.
Mrs. Passio.
Yes.
Mr. Ranieri.
Yes.
And Mr. Root.
Yes.
All right, the bill shall be paid. Good and welfare. This portion of the meeting is open to the public. Anyone wishing to speak, please come to the microphone, state your name and address. Seeing no one, is there a motion to close the public portion?
I make a motion.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Mr. Root, second by Ms. Passio. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, is there a motion to close?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Lobenstein, second by Ms. Passio. All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned at 7:51.